to see the freedom to create businesses and start names, and social media allows you to get it out there, and we're living in less fear than we used to.
What's good? I'm Akil, the real deal with zeal and mass appeal, representing the CannaChef Union at the Good Vibes Sesh Part 2. And I am feeling super fresh, blessed to be with the OG, Jerry K.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Here in Vegas, checking out the vibes,
Yes, Vegas, I think the Vegas cannabis community right now is the greatest. And I remember last night at the after party, I saw you and I just said, what's up? And it was just the vibe that I had from you was like, man. And it's no coincidence that today, Brooksy was like, we got to interview Jerry K.
That's what cannabis does. It brings people together. That's what I love about it,
This is the OG.
Yeah, so I got a call last week, come down to Vegas because I got an award, Cannabis Activist of 2020. And that's how come I came down.
Congratulations. And it's all earned, because as we were talking before, you said you didn't care whether it was illegal or whether people looked at you a certain way. You've been in the cannabis game for how long? Since when? When did you first start?
I've been smoking cannabis since I was 11, and then I heavy drug user all the way up into my teens. Took about 3 drug rehabs, and then finally I just stuck to cannabis. Got out of Carolinas, ended up in Florida, and just stuck with weed the whole time. Started running weed in Everglades City down in Florida back in the 80s, and I've just stuck with weed my whole life. I believe in cannabis, and obviously America is coming to full circle to, believe in what it's about.
Yes, and I'm glad it's happening during my lifetime. I got to see the transition from it being illegal to legal.
I'm glad I'm free and not in prison, and I'm able to do what I'm doing right now. And I'm glad that I've been able to live to the age of 57 years old. I got 4.5 decades into the cannabis movement. So I've really seen a lot go on in it, and it's really enjoyable to watch the young generation be so creative with ideas. When I was younger, it was like, as a stoner, we would make pipes and stuff, but to see the freedom to create businesses and start names, and social media allows you to get it out there, and, we're living in less fear than we used to,
Yes, because I wasn't as brave as you. It wasn't until I got a job and I was legit, I was in a legal state, that I started being on social media with my cannabis use and not caring who knew.
So the difference with me and that is back around 2004, I was in Amsterdam at a Cannabis Cup, and I'm a photographer by trade. So I started shooting the Cannabis Cups, just freelancing, guerrilla shooting, getting up on the stages, sneaking in, being friendly to everybody, doing what I do. And then slowly they started looking at my images, and I shot for a long time doing that movement in Amsterdam. So for me, when I came into America in 2011, that's when things really started to take place, because it was more accepted in Denver. I got to shoot 420 2011 on the Capitol, made the cover of a magazine. I got a lot of memories in this industry. I mean, right now I'm facing 2 felony counts in Atlanta over cannabis, and I still move forward. And hopefully by the time they're done, cannabis will just be legal across the board for everybody. It's easy to grow, it's good medicine. It brings people together. I mean, look behind us. I could be in the casino right now, but I chose to come here where there's like-minded people that are innovative. And granted, we can't roll the big blunts I like to roll and share them right now, but we can still share camaraderie together. That's what it's about for me, and that's what it'll be about for me till I die, is to continue to watch people come together, educate people when they come together of the reasons cannabis is good for you, you know, I have a lot of friends that drink a lot of alcohol, and it breaks my heart to watch them drinking because I know what it's doing to their body. And when I'm smoking, I know what it's doing to my body, and I feel good. And that's why I don't drink. That's why I don't do any, you know, heroin, pills, any of that stuff anymore. Strictly cannabis.
How did you become so fearless, man?
How did I become famous?
Fearless.
Fearless.
So brave that you all these obstacles and people coming, and you're still moving forward.
Listen, fear will kill you. So when I was young, you know, I had a pretty hard father, and I feared him. But as I grew older, I learned that fear wasn't good, and it allowed me to open up my life to be a better person. So to live in fear will cause you to rot inside and die. You know, I got a story about fear, but I don't need to tell it now. But don't fear anything. Just go for it. You're only going to live one time, you know what I'm saying?
I'm soaking up all the wisdom, bro. I appreciate it, Jerry. I do. And tell us, how are you connected with Brooksy? How do you know Brooksy?
Through the cannabis industry, you know, going to events, cultivating friendships, following up with text messages. You know, I give away a lot of weed to my friends. They give back. You know, if you're not in the cannabis industry, you're going to be eventually part of it somehow or another, because across America it's going to be legal. It's one of the topics on every table in the country right now. When I grew up, people talked about buying houses, buying cars. Now they're talking about the cannabis industry. Their grandmother's sick, their mom's sick. Can you get me CBD? Everybody that suppressed me as a child and as a growing up, even the DEA agent that arrested me has come to me to ask me for CBDs for his family members. From Florida to California. No kidding. It's real out there. It's real. What's going on is real. And if you pay attention to what's going on politically, they're going to let this go wild here soon because they can't control it. It's so desensitized now. You know.
So what do you want the people to know about cannabis? Or what message do you want to share with everyone that's tuning in before we peace out?
What do you want to know about cannabis? Actually, if you're interested in cannabis and you really like to know about cannabis, you should probably read a couple of books. One by Soma, Growing Organic. Jorge Cervantes has got a couple of good books on it. Read about CBDs, what the cannabinoids do for your body. When you use cannabis, listen to your body, because not all cannabis is created equal. Learn about chemicals, FOS, the different things that they're using in cannabis that's not good for you, that you can steer away from when you can recognize the structure of a bud versus one that's organically grown. There's just so many facets of this business. I could go on for hours about it. But one thing is for sure, it's a multi-billion-dollar business. It's legal in many ways. You don't just have to touch the flower. There's tools that can be made. I personally created an item because, real quickly, I'm going to plug it. I've been working on a product for a couple of years because I was using the backwoods, and I went to some parties in these big mansions, and I noticed how they were throwing the tobacco all over the floors, disrespecting the properties, you know, on the counters. And I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking, man, what if they had these leaves that are never rolled before? So I went to the Dominican Republic and went to the factories down there and found the leaf, and I have a machine that actually cuts the leaf the shape of the backwood without it ever being rolled. So I named them pre-cuts, and then the guy from Splitterilla and Extendo went and tried to trademark my name. So it set me back about a year. But during that year period of time, it allowed me to develop a hemp wrap that is completely cadmium-free, metal-free. It's PP00. The ppms are 0. That is going to be my new product I'm launching besides the leaf, which we'll be divulging the name of it here shortly because we just got the trademark approved for it.
Oh, so where can we connect with you so we know when it drops? How can we stay connected with you?
You can watch my Instagram, Jerry Krecicki. It's JERRYKRECICKI. And beware, there's thousands of fake pages of people impersonating me that are trying to sell you cannabis, sell you pills. That's not me. I only have one page, and then I have Blankwoods, which is my company, and then I have a cannabis page that's I don't use. But in general, there's only one of me, Jerry Krecicki. There's no dots, no hyphens, anything. There's only one.
I really appreciate your time. I would love to interview you for like 2 hours. But I'll let you go and spread that love and that energy, man.
Yeah, one day we can talk about the Everglades days, you know, before pot was legal, when we rode around in boats and trucks and dune buggies, and there's a lot of good stories back then.
We'll give you another reason to visit
One
Vegas.
more plug. I'm going to plug my boy's book that I grew up with this guy. He was one of the largest cannabis distributors in North America, from Colombia to here through Everglades City, named Tim McBride. He wrote a book about our lives and his lives and the whole deal back in the 80s called Saltwater Cowboys. It's on Amazon. You can check it out. There's some amazing stories in there. Go give it a try. I shot the cover on it, whatnot. Yeah, so, and anyway, I appreciate you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing.
My pleasure. You heard it. It's the Saltwater Cowboy, Jerry K.